He never seems to be nervous when it's just the two of us.
Well, welcome to Mayor's Update, everyone. We're pretty excited. We've got one of the biggest crews here we've ever had.
Is that a crack about my weight?
No, that's not.
Sorry, I had to get that in. Thank you very much. Mayor's Update with a crowd in the council chambers, right? And some of my best friends. So it's really work, and Graydon. So we're really looking forward to this week, and we've had a lot of feedback already about, oh yeah, that's going to be fun. So I really want to start. I really want to get going.
Yeah.
And Tony Bendel's with us tonight too. Now, if you don't know Tony, you should. He has been Mr. St. Thomas for about as long as I've been alive, because I'm quite a few years younger. But Tony,
hello.
Great
How you doing, Joe?
Great to have you here tonight. But we want to talk about Extinguishers for Cindy. And I think there's a number of people who know exactly what that's all about. But Tony, can you give us in your words, how did you get involved in doing this, and how did we get to where we are today?
All right, so pretty sad story how it all came about. But October 2nd of 2020, Cindy was on her way to work in London. Yep. She worked at her parents' factory there called Stitch and Sew.
Yep.
And or Stitch at Central, sorry. Yep. And as she was heading into work, she was hit head on by an impaired driver. Car went down in the ditch, and many people stopped. They were trying to help her. She was fully awake. She was talking. She survived the crash. And so what happened was, as they were trying to get her out, her legs were pinned by the dash, and car caught fire, and everybody was forced back. And the whole part was, there was a comment made at the scene that somebody had said, my God, if I just had a fire extinguisher, I know we would have saved her. Yep. Because as that was happening, they could hear the sirens. Yep. When she was gone, they were stopped. They were already there. So it was within seconds. So Cindy, I had known for a long time personally. I've known her for quite a few years. And so Graydon and I have talked about, with his media experience and my past with Rogers and over the years. So I thought, what could I do, as Cindy being a friend, how could I honor her, but also how could we save lives? Right. So I thought of this extinguisher program. For almost 30 years, I was a truck driver. Commercial vehicles, school buses, they all have extinguishers, forklifts in factories. Your boat, you go to your boat, Port Stanley, that's part of your safety pack, So I got thinking, why do we not have that in our cars? Right. Our everyday cars. Now, people say, well, I would never know how to use an extinguisher, but
someone else might be there with you that would, and so at least having it on site.
That's the idea. So somebody had said to me one time, well, what good does it do if I have an extinguisher in my trunk and I'm in a big accident and I'm down in the ditch and I can't get my extinguisher? Well, but the thing is this is not, your extinguisher in your car is not for you. Right. You're going down the highway, you come across a bad scene. Now, if you are the unfortunate one down in the ditch, you've got 30, 40 cars stopped up there. They've all got extinguishers. There's going to be many people that know how to use them. So, so that was the process and how we started. So what I did is I took an old folder that I had for many years. I just call it my media contacts, and I sent out a big blitz across the country. And within a couple of days, I started getting the calls back. The top one I sent to Graydon tonight, Roy Green in Toronto, the Roy Green Show. I've known Roy for many, many years. So I went on that, and then the comments were coming back, British Columbia and BC or Alberta, and all out west, and then it went overseas, and that's kind of how it took off.
Well, a lot of good has been done. Tony, could you give a guess as to how many people are now have an extinguisher in their car because of what you started?
So as we started here, what we did is we did free draws. So everybody we designed the extinguisher page, people would send in their names, phone numbers. We would cut them all up, put them into the firemen's hats. We did live draws at the fire hall. Without the St. Thomas Fire Department, this would never have got anywhere. I mean, they have been just fantastic. What a support. So we started doing draws. We did 4 draws. Each draw we gave away 100 extinguishers. They were all by donations. The very first Messenger, Freight Services, and Takumi were the 2 manufacturers in St. Thomas that donated. And that's how we started. We teamed up with Elgin Fire Extinguishers. He offered us a great deal, and we started purchasing them.
From a wholesale point of view to get them into people's hands.
Yeah, and then we started the draws. Since then, St. Mary's, the town of St. Mary's has taken grab of it.
Right.
They've done, I believe, 2 draws, maybe 3. I think it's 2. Sure. So to this point, we're up fundraising of approximately $45,000, and we've given out now about 1,000 extinguishers. And
plus, how many great citizens went out and got an extinguisher for their own car because of hearing the story and what you.
Now that's the other part. There was a lot of people that bought their own, bought their families. We've had insurance companies that have wrote in and said they bought all their employees. I believe Delaware Carn did the same thing for all their employees. Yes. Yeah, there was a lot. Knights of Columbus, all their members, they all went and got.
So we may be living in the place that is absolutely the safest place for the number of cars around us. And thank you for this. I never thought of that till you just were sharing it with us today. For an accident to happen, but that's not the end of it, Tony. And I know it's not with you.
Yeah.
What are the next steps? What more can we do?
So to make this, the Extinguishers for Cindy's page was all about the draws and the extinguishers. The other part of it is called Cindy's Law.
Right.
That is where now I am trying to move this into the Parliament in Toronto.
Right.
I've already been in talks with the Minister of Transportation, Caroline Mulroney's office.
Yep.
They loved it. When I explained exactly what had happened, what we're trying to do, they said right away that if this was to benefit all of us, and especially in Canada, they would love Ontario to be the leader.
Right.
And they're very proud of that. If we can do it in Ontario, this is something they want to do. Fortunately, at the time COVID hit, that really put the brakes on.
Welcome to the world that happened to all of us, right?
Darn,
I get
COVID.
it, right?
And then the elections.
Right. So
the
changed
provincial
over,
elections came up, and then it was everything was stopped because now it's like, and I was praying like, okay, I don't care what party you're for. From my standpoint,
good things cross lines, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
good work.
But for me, I was panicking because I thought after all of this work, if the PCs don't get reelected, I have to start all over again. And that it was scary because I have thousands of hours into this thing.
Well, Tony, you've put thousands of hours into your community in this one, but how many other things too? Look, we're all here to help. So if you're here watching tonight, look, I happen to know Carolyn Mulroney very well. And I promised you this week that I would pass this on too. I was just on a committee with her as the mayor of St. Thomas, working on regional transportation. And so I will pass on what you're still attempting to do in the province. And I recognize that it may need, if it can't be done by the minister, then it can be done by a private member. So we'll try and make sure that we talk to enough members in the legislature to also move this forward. This is a St. Thomas proud kind of moment for us. What you've done is huge. So on behalf of Tony, I want all of us working on the same thing. But let me get with Minister Mulroney this week and see what she says.
I mean, that's the type of this is what it's about though, is how the community has rallied behind this.
Right.
And for our council and the mayor, the police chief, the fire department, the EMS. I mean, it has been, I can't say enough. There is no.
I can't
words.
believe that you just said that because
I
I heard you talk.
I mean, all the different hats.
Right?
But you just brought up a good point. Council, we've got 2 new council members here with us this evening.
And there's huge connect. This is really how St. Thomas works, right? Rose is here with us also. Rose Gibson, who is a new council member and a great friend, but a great friend of Tony's.
Right.
Through a whole
Yeah,
nother,
we've known each other for a long time,
right,
1 or
through
2
a
years.
whole nother piece,
Right.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Through the Legion,
I'm
right?
in between two clowns.
Yeah, well, okay, well, I can't believe you
I
just
don't
said
know how
that.
else to
Tara.
say it. Honestly, they're fun.
All right, well, that's it
Absolutely
for
fun.
me.
All right.
I love them
And-
dearly.
And Tara
And Tara.
McCaulley is here tonight
Tara's
with us too, who I count as another great friend of mine.
Yeah.
And so we've been having a really fun week because we started a bit of orientation last night for new councillors. So the two of you were, and I'm learning lots because I didn't know all this stuff we did. No, I'm just kidding. But I've been asked a lot this week about, Joe, what do you think? You've had a week or so to think about winning the job as mayor again and who your council is. And I keep using the term dream team. I keep trying to pinch myself to wake up. We could not, St. Thomas, we could not have done better. All 6 members of council that wanted to run again have won. The great work that the 7 of us have worked on together is all still in place and can move forward. And we got 2 fantastic people to come join us to do this work too. I can't wait to get started. I honestly, I was excited when I won my first term as mayor, obviously, but this is almost more exciting.
This has a whole new level.
Well, it is.
It is.
It's how much we can get done, right?
Yes.
So Tara, what made you want to come join this team?
That's a good question. As you know, I work for St. Thomas Economic Development
Right.
and been working with small businesses in St.
Yes.
Thomas and Alkin County. And, as I worked with the businesses, identified other areas that I feel that I could help within the city, not just
Mhm.
specific to economic development. And, I was ready to learn something new
Yeah.
and learn more.
Oh, get ready to drink from the fire hose. It's going to come at you really quick. There is a, Rose, and you understand this too. You've been
Yeah.
watching what we do here for a decade,
Decade.
right?
Yes.
Or longer. And it is not light work. It is heavy lifting.
It
We've
is.
got neat things to do, but you
Yeah.
want to care about your community. Well, I'm sitting with 3 people who just breathe St. Thomas
Yes.
and their community. And you know me, I like it too. And of course, we can all look at Graydon and say, look at what he's contributed to our
Absolutely.
community now too.
Yes.
Look at how he got pushed out of being on Mayor's Update. He's now just
Yeah.
behind the scenes guy with cameras. Right?
Only
Look,
kidding.
it has been,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Rose, what are you most looking forward to? I'm looking at where your chair is in council chambers.
I'm glad you know where it is because I don't yet.
Okay. And we've got all the stuff on Tara's chair, so.
I just can't wait to work.
All right.
Honestly, like to really dig down into the ground and do the work and to ensure that we have a community that we all want best for.
Right.
Like, I just enjoy doing the work. I enjoyed the work at the United Way campaign. I was actually in envy when the executive boards were sitting around the table at our United Way meetings. And I thought, geez, one of these days I want to be there. And then afterwards I got thinking and I went back to get my grade 12 diploma at the
Right.
Adult Learning Center. And I thought, no way, I'm going to run for city council one day.
Yep.
2 years later, I did it. Ran the first time.
Excellent.
And that's my game.
Well, but and I will allow you to say game because I really do want it to be fun. We really will have fun doing this. We're
Yes.
doing the right things. It will always be fun. And Tony, you and I go back through the old Rogers days and a number of other things that we've done together. But it is, if you don't allow yourself to enjoy what you're doing, it will be harder to do.
Oh,
Absolutely.
So boy, with this group of the 6 returning councillors, it's a fun group.
You know what?
It's taken me four years to get them to get my jokes,
Well,
but they get them now.
well,
It's
Yeah.
really quite good. It's working
Yeah.
well.
you've got them trained well now.
Graydon, have we got any questions? Is anybody, nobody's, they're just listening to us tonight.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
fantastic.
They're probably
Okay.
trying to figure
I
out
just-
what happened to
Yeah.
all these people.
I would
Well-
just like to say that I have to say our first learning experience the other night, I don't know how Tara feels about it, but it was very welcoming. I must say, it's very welcoming here. The staff is exceptional here. Very
Oh,
exceptional.
I
look,
found that too.
you know, this room is the council chambers, in case you can't tell where we're sitting tonight. But this room is full of people who give good guidance to this community on the priorities of what we need to work on in this community. And they are fantastic at doing it. But once we decide in this room what that guidance is or what those priorities are, there's 400 employees in the city of St. Thomas that actually go out and make it happen, right? I wake up in the morning and go, somebody had to be out plowing snow last night, or somebody had to be out picking up trash, or when I got up, I turned on the tap and the water ran. These are all city functions that we have to make sure happens, and they happen in spite of what we do. But the guidance we give to those great employees and the hard work they give back is paid back 10 times over. We have an incredibly good team here of city employees. And we find now, even as we advertise to replace people or to add people to the team, we get a lot of people who apply. And we go, why? Oh, no, we heard St. Thomas is the right place to be. We heard St. Thomas is a fun place to work.
Well, you know what, honestly, all the years from when I grew up in Mitchell, lived in Stratford,
Right.
I spent many years in Grand Bend. That's when I started Legion, volunteering, all that
Right.
kind of stuff. I've never lived in a community like this.
Wow.
It's been a blast.
This is my home.
The friendliness,
Yep.
such a small town feel St. Thomas has, but yet, you have all the amenities that we do have.
Well, look how much
And-
we're growing, and don't tell anybody, or shout it from the rooftop, whichever, depends on who we're speaking to.
Yeah.
We're growing faster than any other community in Southern Ontario, but we want a great council that'll help do it right? We can have bad growth too. If you go too fast and you don't do the right things and don't build new roads, don't have good amenities, don't have housing, and don't have jobs, it won't work. So how about we do it the other way? And that's what this council's been looking at. And the new council will come in running at full speed of the smart growth that we're trying to do here in St. Thomas. We can't stop people from wanting to live in St. Thomas. You just gave it away, Tony. We all want to live here,
Yeah.
but there's 1,000 people a year coming to St. Thomas who want to live here.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going to have to give them what they're looking for on top of why they came here.
I've always hoped as it grows, we don't lose that
Right?
fundamental
Now,
part.
I don't see it so far.
No, I don't either. And from my years ago at Rogers, I used to sit in the control room over
Right.
here and watch, Mayor Barwick and Mayor Jackson, and I've watched through the years. And of course, each council has their own challenges
Right.
as whatever's happening at that time. But Rose knows at this last election, I helped Rose on her campaign the last few times. And I said to her, I actually was more excited, I think, than she was at the start, because I said I felt like I won,
Yeah.
because I was so invested
Yeah.
with her. But this council, I think, it's amazing.
It's as
Yeah.
good
I
as
think
it
you're gonna
gets.
have a
I
good
think.
show
Yeah,
at
I'm
this
sorry, I
point.
don't want to put too much pressure on all of you.
They turn around and have to
Yeah, we
help
screw
each
up
other.
now, we're really in serious trouble.
Help each other.
Y'all just spent some time out there talking to people
Absolutely.
about I'd like this job, and I want to be able to do this. Rose, tell us, what was the biggest thing people told you they wanted help with in St. Thomas?
Help. They wanted more information.
Okay,
They, when you get, when I was in the areas of new residential, they had no idea we had a Times Journal, didn't know we had a radio station, and they didn't have any idea on how to contact City Hall correctly, or the tourism board. And, I mean, you can say to them, well, you can look it up on the Wi-Fi network. I'm sure you have a computer, you could do it there, and it's like, yeah, but it's not the feeling we want.
great.
They want the feeling of coming to someone's face and saying, this is what we have. Welcome to St. Thomas. They really just want that home
Yeah.
feeling.
That
They're
reminds me
welcome.
of Welcome Wagon.
Welcome way.
Well, agreed, and we'd love to have someone
used
come
to have-
back and do,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a private enterprise,
Mhm.
Welcome
Yeah.
Wagon, and
Yeah.
I'd love them to do it. If not, can we
Yeah.
do it as part of our
I don't
tourism
even think
group?
Welcome Wagon exists anymore. I
No.
don't think
Well,
but
and we're trying to solve some of what you're talking about with just
Yeah.
what we're doing tonight.
Yes,
That we're saying every week, we're going to talk to you about what happened at the council, what happened, how we're doing it.
Yeah.
Tara, what'd you hear when you were knocked, your first door you knocked on? What was the biggest surprise you got?
I think for me, it was a lot of people don't know that live in the city, all of the great things that are happening
Yes.
in the city.
Yep.
So even, for example, the strategy for people who are unhoused and all of the great work that's being done at the municipal level, and then the advocacy that's happening at the provincial level. So for me, I'm a Googler, so I'll hop on there and find out where the information is. And what I found that it wasn't easily accessible on the city's website.
Yep.
So it was that, and also lots of concerns with affordable housing. So we know that housing is a major issue, and I see it as three prongs: are unhoused, people coming to our community from other communities, as well as people who are looking for affordable housing. So those were two themes that kept coming up. So from the communication perspective, I feel that's a pretty easy fix. I've been
Talking about it's easy if you're doing it.
Yes,
right?
right?
But here, like,
Yes.
I've watched the mayor's update since day one, I am happy to say. But what I found is not everyone is on social media.
Of course not.
Not
So, you know, it would be great to have.
Oh, I know where you can find a
happening.
bunch of others on social media. St.Thomas happenings. No.
Right? Well, no, but if you're
There's lots
not,
of social media out there where you can hear. Where
if
you
you're
can do
not
better.
on social media, and I even spoke to people that
It
don't even
didn't
have a
have
computer. So
computers,
how can we get this message out? And so I don't know what it looks like, but remember the old fashioned town halls?
Yeah.
Where, you
absolutely.
know, and it could be just a way to bring community together and
All of the
connectivity.
above. We need to do all of this.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right. And I'm glad you both touched on the communication side. And Tony, I know your communication background. So this is great to hear, Graydon. It's really what we've been trying to do. Boy, can we ever do more of it. Look, I'm hard to hide, and I know that this council is going to be really hard to hide. Not only do we need to do it, but we need to tell people we're doing it.
That's
We
right.
need to share with people what this means and how it works.
And
And sorry,
Go ahead.
we have some questions about that.
Okay, go ahead.
Douglas was asking, how can I see council live? Can I come to a place
Yes.
where I can actually see the
Right.
council?
Yes,
meeting
now
happening?
that we're back in session and after COVID, and we won't say we may not slide back into that, but we have a gallery in this beautiful council building that you're now allowed to come to. It's on the 4th floor, so come to council on Monday night at 5:00. As we start back up, we still have 2 council meetings of the existing council, and then we'll have our inaugural meeting on the 21st of November of our new council. That will start at 7:00, and that one you may not be able to attend because we want everybody who's been elected's family to try be able to come and go through that. But we have council gallery. We have the council streaming live every week on the website, and at least once a month, Roger still comes and does the council live. Graydon, you and I talk about what happened at council every week, Wednesday night at 6:30, and we will continue to do that. But we know this year we're going to include a lot more friends like we're doing tonight. Let's talk about what's going on in our community and get the other views of it. Because, Mayor Joe's pretty opinionated. He can get there
No.
pretty quick.
Well, it was inspired by a suggestion from Tara, who's
Right.
now on council, before
Yeah.
she got on the council, to
Right.
bring everybody on. I'm like, absolutely.
Yes.
Let's do, at the end of the month, we'll do one where as many councillors who are available,
Right.
we'll do an open forum just like this, where
Yeah.
everyone can talk to everybody.
And we can also look at it, and I'll take the guidance from council, but we can talk about each of the departments of our city also on next week is engineering. Let's talk about how we decide snow plowing and parking and bylaw enforcement and whatever else it might be, and try and share what happens in our community. We've got lots of neat things happening that people just don't always get. Rose, I know you brought the trash calendar with you tonight. You got it?
Yes.
It's nearby.
There we
Right?
go.
Hold it up. I mean,
There we
this
go.
is a new counselor already working. Now, this is on the fridge at my house, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And it's on the fridge at most people's houses. But did you know that every week in November is yard waste week?
Mhm.
You can fill your green bin plus put out whatever else
Right.
is yard waste
Yep.
for every week on the days that your trash day. Put it out. Fill your green bin first, right? But that's what Rose wanted to come and tell us
Yeah,
tonight is, look,
Got 4
not
weeks.
everybody knows this, and we'll get 100 phone calls next week at customer service that says, hey, what are you doing that leaf pickup thing?
That's right.
Right, sorry, you didn't watch
Yeah,
Mayor's update,
Yeah.
because you would have known, because Rose would have brought her calendar.
Yeah, I
right?
usually take a picture of it and put it on.
I do
my
have one
Facebook
question for that.
Right?
This was a couple of years ago, somebody, but is there a limit to the green bin? So
Not
per
during
house-
these weeks.
Yeah, no, but can a house or a residential home have 4 green bins?
We'd
For-
rather you didn't. They're very
Yeah.
expensive, the bins themselves.
Yeah.
But if you know of a neighbor who's not using theirs, then of course, steal their capacity, right? But
Yeah.
they're big. If
I
you're
have
just
not
putting
said
grass
that.
cuttings and tree limbs in it, right? You can still take green bin material to our recycling center if you're overloaded. I myself have never overloaded a green bin, and I know many people don't even put a green bin out, so you could probably on your own
Yeah.
street find someone who could lend you their capacity if that was the case.
I know some people that have purchased their own too.
Right, well, they could.
It
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
with the contractor, I think it's still green for life.
Yeah, that's the name
yeah,
of
so-
our contractor, but we're the first community to do kitchen waste. I mean,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
let's honk our own horn. It wasn't while I was mayor, it was a long time ago that started to divert waste from landfill, all kitchen waste and green waste was St. Thomas, right? There's still many communities who have green bins. I don't think London has yet gone to a green bin program.
No,
They
Really?
keep talking
no.
about it.
They keep talking about it. They keep saying it's too expensive.
No
to start
offense,
it
Mayor
up, right?
Holder, but,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, wait,
Yes.
he's not the mayor anymore.
No.
oh no, he still
No.
is for another 2 weeks.
Well,
So
I
I
can
can
make-
make- I can make fun of my friend Ed for 2 more weeks.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Josh and I will
Yeah,
have those types
for
of
sure.
discussions. But we
Yeah.
got great friends over there anyway, right?
Yeah.
But even communities around us. Look at, we do things that other people don't know. Thank
Right.
you.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we're louder, more efficient. How better can we get the word?
Yeah.
And we think,
Right.
and I was even talking to Justin, our chief engineer today, and I said, well, that's good, but 1 in 10 knows it. So what do we do to tell the other 9? How do we get how do we get the word out there? And you're right. Our website's terribly complicated. No offense to those that
No,
designed
no, no
it, because
offense.
it's full of information, and you sometimes have to pull some of that information out of there so you're getting the real information out. And it's a lot easier to push a button and say, I want to know about green bins. Okay, right, we can do it that way.
Yeah.
What else you got? Any other questions over there?
Well, we got a shout out for Tony. Thanks for your work in scouting the youth.
Yay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow,
So-
yeah, that goes back, yeah.
Wow, wow.
Who was that? Who was that?
That was Margaret.
Hi,
Good night.
Margaret. There you go.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, I used to be a club leader. Yeah, 21st St. Thomas. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Why am I not surprised at all?
Right?
I'm not, right?
That was fun times.
Yeah.
We've got Chris Smithite is asking for a link to the live streaming on the mayor's page would be helpful.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
yeah, there's-
I
That's an
don't want to
idea.
duplicate what the city's trying to do because I don't want it to appear as though I'm taking full credit for everything the city does.
oh,
So you're right.
okay.
I think we need to do a way of saying, here's our thoughts going forward. Here's a place for you to gather. You and I talked, Graydon, as another adventure we could get into is whether it's mayor's mailbag
Yes.
or mail from the mayor, and all week
I
long
love it.
accumulate those things and make that part of the show or make that part of the website
Mhm.
as another way. Please ask your questions. This week, been a lot of questions about green bins or about parking because we're getting up on November 15th, where you will need to have a parking permit or you cannot park on the streets in St. Thomas. And I've taken a number of calls and emails about those. So I maybe need to get seasonal on some of that stuff too, but what a great idea. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Remind us of that. We need to
Good idea,
do
Chris.
mayor's mailbag or council's mailbag. And we got a question.
Yeah.
Mayor's
There.
mailbag.
The mayor's
Like that.
mailbag. Yeah.
We got a question
Yeah.
for Kohler. We're gonna make him sit here and answer it. No, it's-
Well, we've got a green bin question.
Yeah.
They want to know, how do you get your green bin replaced?
you call customer service. This is how you get everything done in St. Thomas, okay? And I'm just gonna be really loud and I'm gonna tell 2 new councillors. Call 519-631-1680. That's the city hall phone number, and hit 0. That will take you to customer service. Someone will answer it and say customer service, and you go, I need to get my green bin replaced. and they will start a file based on what you've asked. That is the simplest way. You see a pothole, do that. You see graffiti someplace, do that. You need a park that needs grass cutting better, or you have a suggestion for the city.
Yep.
Call our customer service line. We have the best customer service response stuff anywhere. We really, truly do. And if we use it as mayor and council to tell people, look, I'm glad you told me, and I had 2 people today where I said exactly this. I know I just told you the answer, but I need you to call customer service. Here's the number. Say you were talking to me at customer service. That'll put me on the file also. So when we see a solution, I'll also be told that the solution happened, right? And call customer service and put it through. Let's always all use it. How many times a week I just type in customer service at ST.Thomas.ca, which is the other way to get a message there. Say, hi, it's Mayor Joe. Someone just told me about a street light that's out. Thank you very much. And it goes in. And it's surprising how fast we can get some of this stuff done.
I think it's important that understanding the back end processes, it helps with reporting and understanding, trends on streets or,
Right.
If there's been multiple complaints. And because if my understanding is correct, Your Worship, a report is done where it is sent and people can
Yes.
review.
Oh, no, I can.
from-
And I often, and that's why I asked, put my name on it, but I also often go fishing. Okay, what's our biggest thing on customer service this month?
Right.
And we
That's
need to be so proud of that. We publish this out to our members of council
Right.
so they can say, wow, okay, or here's
or
one
it's,
that's coming
I've
up
seen
a
trends
lot.
on
Maybe
this,
we
and
take a
need
look
to
at
focus
this, right?
on this a little bit closer.
And I
So
will-
I think it's that back end piece that's really important too. It's not a matter of just putting the information into
Absolutely.
customer service. It's what happens in the back end.
It gives you the stats to be
You know,
able to
how
move
long it
forward.
took to be
Right.
rectified, all of that information, which is really valuable.
Well, Terry, you work a lot with small businesses and you teach a lot of customer service, right? Rose, you work in customer service
Yes.
every day, and that's my background too. And if we need to, as council, to bring that forward. It will always, there will be times when we think we've solved the problem here at City Hall, when all we've done is made another phone call,
That's right.
right? I keep trying to suggest through our customer service system, the service, we haven't hit the solution till we've called the person who phoned the complaint, till we've called the person who came to us with a customer service request. If we phone back to them and say, how did we do? Now we know we won. And we will continue to win better. And that's really, we'll know we're there as a city when we can handle that level of customer service. Now, look, it takes us a little while to plow some of the roads or to plow some of the sidewalks. So
Yes.
please get your discussions in, but sometimes we're going to say, still snowing and we haven't been out yet. Okay,
Right.
we're going to do our best to do garbage pickup and the water's going to turn on and do all the neat stuff we do. But customer service is a big part of our job.
I'm gonna throw one out to him. Now watch the mayor's face cringe on this one, okay?
I can't believe
Watch
it.
this. All right. One of the things over the years with the snow thing,
Yep.
and I've seen. Now, have you ever had any discussions on how many times have we seen a plow go down the road with the blade up?
Yep.
Salting.
Yep.
Sanding.
Yep.
And then 2.5 hours later, comes back with the plow and knocks everything off, and
Right.
then they come back to sand and plow again.
Yep.
So has that ever been discussed?
Yes,
with
I
them,
want you
the
to
leader,
call
about that?
customer service and put that in.
I
'Cause
push
you'll
zero,
get-
right?
You'll get the answer that is the correct one.
Right?
Oftentimes, we've got ice built up on roads, so we're out there sanding and salting to prepare so that we don't have slippery roads or to
Yeah.
break down ice that is built up. And then 2 hours later, once the salt is worked, we put the plow down and go out there and knock it down. And we may also be standing at the same time as it. May not have been exactly what the case you're talking about, but there is method and science to how well we do this.
Well, see, and that's why I bring it up, because on an average person looking at it, you think, what a waste of money.
You know,
You
and
guys
also,
pay for all this,
there's another great
Is there
one.
a theory behind that?
Yeah, there's another great one that I'm going to get probably 15 of in the next month, as soon as we see a cold snap. We're going to see sidewalk plows out there, driving
Oh, yeah.
at rapid speeds
Yeah.
all over town,
Yeah.
right?
They're training.
Sure, we've got to know how long it takes to go from the works yard to their route and what the route looks like, and not to forget your street just because it was quicker to go by it, right? So yes, there will be people out there training and driving in empty sidewalk plows going really
I've heard that,
fast.
so many
and
times,
every
eh?
year.
Yeah.
Every year,
Yeah.
and you would rather we do that before the snow falls.
Yeah,
So that we don't
absolutely.
rip up your front lawn, so we know
Yeah.
what streets have sidewalk, what side of the road is which, and there is some practice time out there. The same thing with snowplow. So
Yeah.
I'm being a bit funny, Tony, but it really is. There's a
No,
lot of
that's true.
stuff in this community that just is about, or why is that park so full of, I mean, the grass is 3 feet high and what are you doing? Yes,
You know
there's a
what?
lot of
That
parks
would've
here that we've naturalized.
Yes,
Yes.
right?
Right,
Yes.
right, and we've put good old Southern Ontario prairie grass through a lot of them, and we plow where we cut where the sidewalk is, but we want that grass there. It's helping with pollinators, and okay, but well, what kind of city is this? It used to look like a golf course around here, and now it looks like this. Yeah, I get it. I understand it, and not everyone will always agree with the answer given, but it's not smart. It's not a smart ass comment. It is. Here's what we're trying to do different than other communities, and we can do it with less people. We can do it better if and then I'll go downstairs and see Justin and go, am I right? I answered it this way.
Right? Yeah,
No, you're
after the
absolutely
fact.
wrong, Mayor. You're gonna have to fix that. No, so we'll do it. What else have you got, Green?
We got a question about green bin pickup. They were saying that it didn't happen on Metcalf when it was supposed to. What do
Right.
they do about that?
Call it customer
Customer
service,
service,
right?
sorry.
And sometimes, look, it's marginal. And this week, because it's Green Week, right? It's
Yeah.
one of the green weeks in
Yeah,
November.
it's heavy.
Our bin picker-uppers
Mhm.
are really busy.
Yeah.
More busy
Yeah.
than normal. And so it might have got past 6 o'clock tonight and the bin didn't get picked up. Well, they'll remember where they missed, and especially if you phone into customer service,
That's right,
and they'll try and get that done first tomorrow on their way to do the rest.
yes.
Perfect. All right, another question. What can people do about not plowing people's driveways in?
Don't have a driveway. I'm sorry, we don't want to be facetious, but the
Yeah.
snowplow's job is to clear the snow from the city street.
Mhm.
The only place to put snow on most city streets is at the edge where the driveways are. There is no snowplow operator that stays up at night and says, how can I fill in more driveways tomorrow,
Yeah.
right? They're out there saying, let's make people safe by clearing the roads as best we can, all right? And I recognize sometimes that leaves a very deep pile of snow in your
Right.
driveway.
So that comes in with your snow angel program?
Oh,
there we
I was
go.
just gonna say that.
I love it.
Segue.
I love it. What a great segue. And we're having a really late start on snow angels this year. We did
Actually-
talk about it.
Jenny posted today, was a year ago today, we had 2.5 inches of snow.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, no. This is truly,
Yeah.
I will cause it next week because my snow tires are going on. So
I
we
got
will,
mine on
we
already.
will cause it.
Yeah,
But the Snow Angel program, just for those of you that may be new to St. Thomas or new to Mayor's Update, and it's the mayor's office that runs this, helps to run this program. You can be a snow angel. That is, you will also shovel someone else's sidewalk and driveway in your neighborhood, or 2 or 3, because some of our snow angels are really busy and do 2, 3, or 4. Or you're somebody who wants to be in your own home. But one of the things that's really hard is you're not able to get out and shovel your own walk, your own driveway anymore. So you can sign up as a snow angel, and we'll try and match up people from your neighborhood in St. Thomas with the ability to come do that for you. We want both. We need, first of all, a plethora of people who want to be snow angels, and this can be kids after school. We promise that our snow angel will get to the driveway that you need shoveled sometime the day after a snowstorm, 4 o'clock in the morning. So if you're going to make sure your sidewalk homes in their neighborhood, so they're not having to drive all the way across town to do it. When we don't have a snow angel and we have somebody who needs the work, we'll call everybody we can. Is there anybody that can go over here and get Mrs. Smith's driveway done for? And there is always a greater need than there is snow angels. So thank you for those of you that are watching tonight. Let's call into to customer service. I'm just going to give this job to customer service starting tomorrow morning to start collecting the names. And you just say, Mayor said last night, I get to call in and put my name down as a snow angel. I only need calls right now on people who need to be need snow angel help. Right now, we're looking to accumulate a number of snow angels out there. So, right?
So, Your Worship, if there's a student that's able to do it,
please.
Well, if they want community hours.
Yes.
Who signs their sheets?
We will make sure that happens. It was the assistant in my office. We'll make sure that happens this year if that's the case.
Absolutely.
Right? And we had many who did that last year too, and many who did it without even ever getting the sheet signed either. But look, volunteer in your community. And I just remember shoveling. Tony, you probably remember this too. Shoveling snow in my neighborhood was one of the best ways to get the best cookies on the block, the best what meal there might be that night. Yeah, no, it's that volunteering always came with some reward, which is what taught me how to be a volunteer.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Cheeseburgers.
So we've got some other questions coming in, but I just want to jump on two
Go ahead.
questions. I know you guys are new on council.
Yep.
Do you have any particular departments that you were interested in kind of focusing on now that you're in council?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Or
tough.
committee work. I mean, we're going to talk
Wow.
about that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Um,
Okay, Rose, you're up first.
Well, I really haven't given any thought because they all are in need of
Yeah.
some type, someone sitting on their boards, you know. I have an interest in everything. It's truly coming together as a community, and they all need to be representative.
Right.
So I haven't really given much chance of really thinking about that. I just want to do the
after next
work.
Tuesday night,
I
you're going to
know.
hear from every department head, and
Yes.
then you'll have a way better. Ooh, I don't like them at all. No,
No, I'm sure they're all great committees. It's just, I don't know exactly where it lies. with
all
me.
are fun.
I have been, yes, I've been on the tourism. Actually, the first year the tall ships came in, I was working with Marg Emery, and I thoroughly enjoyed working there. And some of the other boards I've been on who are part of the committee with the city. So I'm looking forward to any of them. Really, any of them would do me good.
Well, Terry, you've got to be at some committee meetings in your past from EDC. So exclusive of that, because that's always a lot of fun, right? What are you looking for?
Well,
What do you think is neat?
I feel the same way as Rose in that this is my, first time at council, and I would be happy to be on any committee, anything to do with our unhoused population, police services, those really interest me.
Yeah.
But as Rose said, whatever is available, I'm going to dive into.
Great.
Absolutely.
Well, you're going to get opportunities. There is no one that is on no committees.
So we'll get home and there'll be emails. We want you. We want
Right.
you.
Oh, no. Avoid those. No.
So one for me, if I was in an opportunity where I was elected, and because I drove cab in the city here for a lot of years, so public transportation for me is huge.
Yes.
Me too.
And
Yeah.
my partner is I'm not going to say disabled,
Right.
because she's not, but she does have
As a
weakness
difficulty,
of
right.
of walking and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's always been an issue is public transit, the buses.
Great.
That would be a huge one for me is I have been always an advocate for people.
Yeah.
Right.
Through the Legion, the veterans, that's everybody knows that's
Right.
a massive passion for me. I grew up with that. So yeah, I think our public transit, anything that helps the people get out, because it reflects everything from your business everywhere. If you can get the people out.
Well, if I can add to that one, and Tara and Rose have both brought this up, we need not only to do it, but to show people how we're doing it and how we arrived at that.
Yeah.
Our latest transportation changes in this community were massive compared to where we were.
Yeah.
Now, would we have a whole lot of people say that? Maybe. Some were involved, but we asked everybody for their opinion.
Yeah.
We asked, we did transit study after transit request, and we'll do more of that. One of my favorite ways of gathering information is the home show. Because we set up a booth,
Yes.
we ask people to come in and answer our questions. Right now, we have a request out there on budget surveys. Does anybody know how many people have done their budget survey? How many people have given your opinion of what you want the budget, what do you think the important parts of the budget are? So please, all of us talk about this all the time, but we're hearing now clearly, and Rose and Tara have really shared it with us tonight. We need to do a better job talking about what we do and asking those questions, right? So let's make sure that we do that too. So right now there's, I believe the only survey out there is the budget survey.
Right now.
Through the budget process about what do you think of this? Or look, we have said, we've looked at transit now. 4 years ago when we first came, we all said we had to fix it. About 2 years ago, we did a fairly good, massive change. Every 6 months thereafter said, what's new? What do we need to say? Who's asking us and who's telling us? And we just made one more change on transit by adding another bus to the digital system. It's not perfect. Our transit system is not a taxi system. Our transit system is exactly that. We need to have the input of people to do it. And you all know how hard we've been working, and that's where my love of Minister Mulrooney comes from, is we've been helping her on what to do with regional transportation. How do we get people to other communities around us too?
Yeah, that's been a big topic lately here with
Yeah.
Port Stanley,
Port
London,
Stanley.
Oh,
St. Thomas, yeah.
Well, and we all know, as we open the facility, the Amazon facility on the old Ford site and the
Yes.
Maple Leaf Food site in the south part of London, many people from St. Thomas will end up working there. How do we do that? And we've been trying to reach out to those businesses to say, hey, we're St. Thomas. We understand what you're trying to do. Why don't you share with us how we can do this better? Is there a way you can help us with our transit system by helping us get people to your place?
Which
of
then
work?
ties into that, transparency and everything, but also working with the county.
Yes.
Elgin County,
Absolutely.
St. Thomas working
Yeah.
together.
Well,
and
and with
that's
that,
huge is,
and Josh and I, Mayor Holder and now the new mayor of London, and I've had these conversations already.
Yeah.
We've got to be good with each other,
Good
and
neighbors.
truly Central Elgin and the County of Elgin, we have to be too. We can't, we've got to do shared services over and over and over again from the city of St. Thomas to our neighbors. And it will work if we do it that way.
and we have tremendous new business out on the north end now, Dennis Road.
Oh,
All
yeah.
those places that
all
are
those
being
places.
built now, right? And
Wow.
Yeah.
And we added a whole new piece to getting people to work in the industrial park on time using our transit system.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Now, those that are using it really love it.
Yeah.
Did we do a good enough job of telling people we're doing it? No,
No.
it's another one of these. Look, the capacity is only so much, but we want to, when we do something well, we should shout it from the rooftop.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And also, if there's challenges, how we're working through it,
Right.
right?
Oh, by all means, we're not
Yeah.
perfect.
No.
And we won't be, till late into this term. No. We've got lots of stuff to work on. Braden, what else you got?
We got a question. Can the taxpayers do the budget survey?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
for-
it's
that's what it's for.
So it's on the city's Facebook page.
Yes,
Yes.
it's on all of our
been shared
social
on
media.
St. Thomas Happenings. You've shared it.
It was on
I
Twitter.
shared Yeah.
You can go to the city's website.
Yep.
And so far, the response rate has been quite,
Over 600 people have,
600.
early this week, over 600 people had responded to the budget survey. That is a great big number
Good start.
for our social media. And I'd love it to be well over 1,000. People giving us ideas. If 1,000 out of 45,000 people told us how to spend our money or how to
Yeah,
spend their
that'd be
money,
good.
right, better,
statistically
that's a great
significant.
idea, right? So we'll do more of these, the more we get.
Another question is, any progress on getting the buses for the new Amazon distribution center? I'm assuming they mean between like St. Thomas and the Amazon Center.
Right. It wouldn't ever be just that. So we've been working with Southwold on discussions with Amazon, but also with London. So it will need to get people, it will likely be a pretty good circle, a great way to attach us to London, but Amazon would be where people from St. Thomas may be heading first. and vice versa. There'll be people from London needing to get out there too. I will tell you, it's been hard to discuss with those businesses what their needs are. And I know what's going, all of a sudden their staff is going to be hired and they're going to go, where's the transportation? But we're yelling as loud as we can right now. How can we help? How can we be ready? What day will you need people to be transported one way or the other? We will not be able to snap our fingers and all of a sudden have Voyago buses available with drivers. We'll need to know ahead of time what your hiring needs, what's your start time. How do we do this right? And so let's all work together on it. Yes.
Perfect. All right. And then there is some frustration over the green bins from Sue, who was asking that question, in terms of the not getting picked up and then having to wait for more.
Right.
And calling the customer service line.
Okay. We agree. If mine wasn't picked up today, I would like it to be picked up today too. Right. But we will. Use a customer service, request for it, and let us follow up as to why it was not done or was done.
Yeah, I have to agree, because it happened in our residential, Miller Street's a little dead end street. It's happened to us a few times last year, and it just recently happened this past July, and it smelled, and of course, you do the customer service. And I didn't get any more better service than the next person because I'm a known face to a lot of people, and I do run for city council, and I'm in now. It did not give me any more access than the next person. So yes, I had to wait, unfortunately, to the following because they had two major breakdowns.
And as long as they tell you that's what I'm really sorry, Ms. Gibson, but we will not be able to come till next week. Please put your bin away. Then great. The problem, at least the problem's been addressed to the amount it can be in that day. If you get no answer at all, that's the worst customer service.
Worst.
And that's what we need here.
Yeah.
Right?
And they did respond back to me actually 3 times after that. I did receive 3 messages from them. So I was very pleased with how fast that was.
Well, let's continue to ask. Let's set the demand as high as we can, and let's be polite, all right? But we'll do our best to be the best city we can in all of these areas.
And then I think the next section is about events, the upcoming events.
Well, what's coming up?
Ooh,
this
yes,
week.
We have a few.
Let's start with this Sunday, Southold Remembers. I know it's not a St. Thomas event, but it's always a special one for me because we're in Remembrance Week starting that week. We have our own Legion event and Remembrance event on the Thursday, the 11th. So we'll talk about that again on Mayor's Update next week, but you'll only have one day to know that you're planning. So I want to tell you right now, you're planning. So, all right.
Yeah.
What else we got? What's happening this weekend?
The Atrium Open House on Friday from 3 to 7. Al Kravitz from the Small Business Enterprise Center is the new owner of it. So there will be live music, some refreshments, and great local food by Salt and Pepper. So that would, and if you haven't been to the Atrium, it is an absolutely
what a neat working place.
Co-working space.
Yeah.
So an opportunity to check it out.
Awesome. Anything else?
What else? What's Sunday? What's going on this week?
Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday is a Poppy Day for the Legion.
Yes.
We still have some spaces for volunteers to come in and stand outside of businesses. I think we have about 20 openings. So if you have an interest in helping for 1 or 2 hours.
Please come help. Yes.
Please come to the Legion between 1 and 5 p.m. and sign up on our sign-up sheet. And we look forward to many new faces. Tara, she graciously signed up this past week, and a few others that I've been in contact with, and I'm very pleased with the community. But we still have a few areas that could be covered. So
that's very important, that part. I mean, the poppy and its distribution of poppies.
Right.
Legion never sells poppies.
Yep.
Right.
I've been out there for many years. I'm a past poppy chairman for the Legion. We would much rather. We will hand you poppies.
Please,
just give them.
Please don't feel bad about putting a poppy on. And here's Joe, who just lost his before he came tonight.
Same here.
But give what you can give, but put a poppy as a remembrance piece on. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, the whole process of it is it's in the remembrance and what it symbolizes, right? The money is nice. The money that, and a lot of people don't realize, the money from the poppy funds for the
Does
Poppy
so
drives
much
and
good
everything.
work.
Well, it funds, students' bursaries.
Park.
Little while ago in Rose, we did that donation to Parkwood Hospital.
That's
We
right.
did
Right.
I think it was $21,000.
21,000.
We gave for bed lifts so that the people could get from bed to showers.
Right.
For, personal hygiene, we give money for veterans, their families, medical. It's all for that.
Wheelchairs.
It does shelters and different
No.
things and community
Look,
stuff
good
as
community groups are good community groups year
Mhm.
round. This
Yeah.
may be the distribution of poppies, but the great work from poppies happens throughout the year. And so, what else? Are you going to do other weekend events this weekend?
Got the Big Brother, and this weekend? Not sure.
You're going to talk about gingerbread houses again,
Gingerbread
aren't
houses.
you?
I want to talk
Yeah.
about gingerbread houses,
Yes.
Big Brother's Big
Yeah.
Sister.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we competed in that last year. It was, we got beat up by Wendell, great, so former city
Right.
manager, did immaculate construction, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all.
Ours was far more eclectic. Graydon and I did ours together, but separately in my kitchen. Well, he's such a busy guy, and I'm such a busy guy. It was, okay, I'm going to be there tomorrow night. Well, I can't be there tomorrow night. Okay, well, then go glue some stuff together. Go make the gingerbread house. Well, it ended up really huge and
Yeah.
really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
However, to use Stephanie's exact words, not in my kitchen ever again. Okay, so we'll have to convince Stephanie that she can be an integral part of a great
Oh, boy.
gingerbread house
Yeah.
this year.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And
Well,
then-
maybe we should,
Right.
yeah.
And I love being the judge of the contest. And so it was all, it also, right, I did not judge my own, but I get asked to be a judge at a lot of
Okay.
things. And it was, I judged the chili contest at
I was
I was just
Fairchild
gonna,
this week.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask, out of your judging experience,
Yeah.
what event is your favorite? Is it
Oh,
chili?
You
Is
know
it
what? I
like-
do like chili contests because I do love chili.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell a funny story about Councillor Peters. And we showed up at the Royal Canadian Superstore one day to judge apple pie. And there was 24 apple pies. Well, he went into just his happy dance like you wouldn't believe. He just loves pie, loves apple pie. Many times in our previous political life, we'd go to a church social or something
Yeah.
together, and Steve always seemed to got to take a pie home. I was a married man, so I didn't get the free stuff that he got. But we walked in to judge 24 apple pies, right? And he just got his spoon ready. And I said, okay, but folks, we can't all eat 24 apple pies. So let's break these into groups of 4 or groups of 6. And sure enough, by the time the day was over, Steve had eaten some of every pie. There is no doubt. Right? But John Wise once shared with me, careful what you judge, especially baby contests. You're going to end up making 20 people mad and one grandma really happy, right? But I went and judged the chili contest out at Fanshawe this week. It was United Way chili contest, and I should say, way to go, Sheila. The early childhood education team had the best chili, and it was I know chili, and it was the best, right? But fantastic. You'll get to do this, and I will expect you to fill in on the things that I don't want to do. No.
Yeah.
There are
Your
some food
appointments.
contests I will
Yeah.
happy to do. Now, I understand that the gingerbread contest this year is at St. Anne's, and it is also a bake sale that day, along with the judging of the gingerbread
Wow.
houses. So
Big
looking
day.
forward to it, right?
Big
But
day.
we've got other things coming up pretty sooner than that, certainly, Council. The tree lighting,
Yes.
right, is on a week Friday,
Mhm.
November 18th.
November 18th. And what is the next night?
Santa Claus parade.
Santa
Parade.
Claus Parade, a Caribbean Santa Claus
And
Parade, and
Happy
I've
Joe.
got the best Caribbean shirt.
Your worship.
Horton Farmers Christmas Market is also
There's
on the
also
same
that
day.
day.
Oh, the
18th,
Christmas
right?
market.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, looking forward to that because I do a lot of my shopping at the Christmas market. And that's pretty early shopping for the mayor. That's a whole month before Christmas. So,
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
right.
Yeah.
But there's lots of stuff. What?
DDB dollars are now on.
Oh,
sale.
yes,
Yes,
$25.
yes,
Which is
yes.
an incredible
I love that.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Graydon ended up getting money back for Christmas last year because he went out and bought the DDB dollars at sale, and then went to every business that was also offering a percentage off and bought that prize with DDB dollars, and then went to the next. Am I right? I'm not
Yeah,
describing this
Legends.
wrong. You did a great job of being frugal.
Legends has a great option where you
Right.
get, you buy during the Christmas time period, and then you get, for every $100 you spend, you get an extra $25 gift
Right.
coupon.
That's right.
So he uses DDB dollars to buy it at Legends,
Mhm.
got the free food, the free vouchers,
Yep.
right? And with 25% off, you were just
So for
swimming in it.
$300, I get $500 in food.
Right.
Okay.
Speaking of the DDB, what an event last Friday.
Oh, pumpkin
With the
prowl.
pumpkin prowl and all
Yeah.
the
That's been
businesses that
over
were
very
Oh
open.
my
Right.
gosh.
Look,
Yes.
I've
Awesome.
never, I had to get out of town. I had to go to London and speak to the redistribution group because, I'm a political junkie. But I took Talbot Street out, and the number of people on Talbot Street,
It's phenomenal.
right, it was incredible. And in front of City Hall, it was like the staff for the first time in years did part of pumpkin crawl, and it
Yeah.
was
Nice.
incredible.
to see the
Right?
Hundreds and
So
hundreds of people.
Yes.
hundreds,
Yeah.
I think more than Halloween.
There was,
Right,
it
and
was.
so it was quite the show,
Quite
right?
the show, yeah.
Right. And for those that didn't get to see Graydon and Lily, he was a Heinz ketchup bottle and she was a packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, my
It was
goodness.
good.
I
It
would-
was
oh,
good.
I would
Right.
like to
Please
see
look
that.
up the pictures. It is
Yeah.
incredibly good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Pumpkin, downtown pumpkin prowl. The other one for the tree lighting is there is a number of stores staying open next week during the tree lighting
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Or it's
2 weeks
from
from
now,
now.
2 weeks from now. So please plan some of your Christmas shopping on that Friday night. Come on down, let the kids see Santa come in on his fire truck and we'll sing some Christmas carols out at the tree lighting. But you can go do some shopping in the downtown on the Friday night. It's great to see the downtown really regenerating the way it is.
Mhm.
It
It
is
really is.
really quite incredible.
We had a,
Go ahead.
we had a question come in, but you were asking for volunteers for the Legion?
Yes.
Sue was asking, what was that again you were mentioning?
For the poppy boxes. So that's where we have volunteers that stand outside of businesses and you're
Right.
distributing poppies. So
Take donations,
Right.
we
right?
just take donations and
right.
you just hand them a poppy.
There's no pressure here.
However, if you do go by someone that has a poppy box and you don't have if you got a $20 bill, you're certainly not going to give that up. But you know what? Just ask for a poppy.
Right. It's okay.
That's okay,
Right.
because somewhere down the line, one day you're going to be, or the next couple of days, you're going to have that coin and you're going to be able to
Throw
drop
it in the box. Absolutely.
And that's all we're asking.
Right.
So please carry a poppy.
So the Legion, if someone wanted to help be a poppy distributor this weekend, they would just go to Legion?
Yes, they can stop in at our Legion at 24 John Street between 1 and 5 p.m. We just like to have someone come in and sign in the little box area where we have a delegated time
Right.
slot and a
And,
location.
and they'll give you a good thought on a
Right.
donation for
And-
you to go.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Students.
so what they'll do is they may pair you up with a Legion member,
Right.
cadet.
Or a cadet.
Right.
You can take a youth out, even people that don't drive. If you're in the downtown area and you want to do it, you come over.
We'll get you out of
There is
Food Basics or
transportation.
someplace close.
We take
Right.
you,
We
we
have
bring you
drivers.
back. You can spend an hour, 2 hours, whatever you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get back afterwards, it's soup, there's
and
refreshment, coffee, tea.
Coffee.
Yep.
It's free for everybody that helps
Yeah.
distribute, which
Excellent.
also I wanted to mention quickly too, just before we get with the Remembrance Day coming up.
Yeah.
It's a return to normality.
Yes.
Right.
It's
full
a
service.
full-fledged service. Everybody, of course,
Come
invited to
prepared
come
for
to
it to
the,
be a full-fledged service.
yes,
Yes.
Veterans Memorial Gardens,
Yes.
Moore Street, yes. But a lot of people still don't know this. After the service is done, you don't have to head to the Legion.
Right, come on over to the
We have
Legion.
a full welcoming.
There's nothing like
over there.
Legion soup after Remembrance
Hey,
Day.
Yeah.
the beef barley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Oh.
The
Chicken noodle.
Chicken noodle.
Oh, yeah.
Beer.
Yeah,
There's
beer,
a beer.
beer.
Yeah.
Barley soup.
But
And Mr. Bob Finley will be in.
yeah, and there's the other one, Bob Finley. He
Oh.
entertains the whole
Oh my
entire
God.
afternoon.
If you don't sing along to Bob, you're not there.
You're not there.
You haven't lived until you see
That's
Bob.
right. No,
Yes,
yeah,
Bob
I-
is Bob.
I know
I
the
like
words.
I like the
These
swish
are
of his
songs I
kilt.
know.
Oh,
I
the
also-
kilt.
I
Yes.
love the
Oh.
swish of his kilt.
Oh, yes.
But also, there is one thing though that is pretty, I apologize to the guys from the Jeep troop. 7 days leading up to Remembrance Day, there's a sunset service.
Yes.
Okay, at the
Yeah.
Veterans Memorial Gardens.
Yes.
Right.
Everybody is welcome to attend. They set up all the Jeeps. There's a prayer. They do, there's representatives from the police,
Yeah.
the fire.
All
the
uniform
Legion.
services, you're right.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah,
they all
I have
come.
attended the last, not every night, I would like to.
No, you have to
I think I've
remember
got a
to do
couple.
it. So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
It's a
You're
great
right.
sunset service.
You know, the bugle, they play every night.
Yeah.
I believe it's 7 o'clock, right
Yeah.
at 7, it
7,
goes.
yes.
People will hear it across the city, downtown, and
Yeah.
they're like, what is that?
Well,
Well,
more than once, I had Councillor
It is a
Peterson,
beautiful
I heard the
service.
bugle, I have to go. Right, you know,
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
it's a
close
beautiful,
enough.
beautiful
Right.
service.
So I think the first service is on Thursday.
Is it
Tomorrow?
Thursday?
I think 7 days
Yes, it's 7 days,
prior.
leads up to Remembrance Day,
3,
so.
4, 5.
We're glad Rose
Thursday.
brought her
Tomorrow.
calendar tonight.
Tomorrow.
We're good.
Hey, I'm a planner. I'm sorry, I'm a planner.
No,
I
I
know
know the
fun
Jeep
we're going to
troop
have.
is, but
This is a
it's
good
just-
group.
actually
I'm
supposed to
pleased.
be Great night, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was
So-
just trying to look it up quickly
Yeah.
to see.
There is
But-
at least 1 million Christmas bazaars
Oh
every
my God.
weekend between now for the next 4 weeks. I started to write some down today and went, yeah, I'm just gonna say, you know, look, if you
Yeah.
got a favorite church to go to, start this weekend because it's
Yeah,
likely this
exactly.
weekend, and after that,
St.
it's,
Hilda's, St. Luke's is this week.
right?
Yeah.
And-
Right? St.
And
Hilda's,
it's
St.
just
Luke's.
always a good one.
Yes,
right?
that is a good one.
And I, you know, to buy little craft things is fantastic because it
Mhm.
helps with my Christmas shopping.
Mhm.
But there is nothing like the baking in every one of these bazaars. I mean, I'm sorry, Stephanie, I'm the mayor. I had to buy butter tarts. Had to. Here.
Had to-
I love
yeah,
butter
yeah,
tarts.
Yeah,
Oh.
right,
Oh.
exactly. Yeah.
Quick,
I-
I'm gonna throw a trivia question in.
Okay.
So we came up with a trivia one this night. Steve has trivia questions for us, but it was a little bit more complicated setup this evening, so I didn't get a chance to run
Right.
over and grab the trivia questions. So there's just one tonight, and the trivia is, what was the name of the former tea room on the west end of St. Thomas over by Jumbo?
Mm.
That is your trivia question.
And I
Let us know.
remember visiting there, but coming up with the name may be tough.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
even I'm puzzled, and
No,
I'm
Yeah.
like, not quite like Steve Peters,
No,
but.
no. Yeah.
but
If
I
he's-
can
he'll know.
remember.
He'll know.
Right, he'll know,
Steve.
so.
So we'll give this 15 seconds and someone will have an answer on.
That's
Oh,
their
yeah.
update. This does not take long to get our
Wasn't the
trivia.
name on it still, or on the side of the building for just recently, like not that many years ago? I'm pretty sure it's still
Yeah.
up there. I
don't know.
if I remember
There we go.
correctly,
Oh,
I
if you
think it
live in
is.
the area,
On
run
Old-
down.
on Old Talbot. I'm sure I've seen that
Yeah.
in the last,
I-
not too long.
Well,
Yeah, the
yeah.
only thing I can remember
And
down
Sue-
there is.
Sue Margetts is saying that it was Wayne McKinnon's, which is correct. Wayne
Yes,
Wayne
McKinnon
McKinnon.
ran with his wife.
Yes.
And we've also got a shout out from Margaret Knight for the New Vision Bazaar, which is Saturday, November 5th, which is this
Okay.
Saturday.
That's this Saturday.
And they've
Good to
got
know.
pies and a
Pies.
baking table.
Right.
Mm.
I can buy a whole table.
Guess where Joe's going?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Table's
I
good?
went and bought a
Have
table,
pies.
Stephanie. I bought a table. Oh, wait, I had baked goods on it.
Table.
Oh, and we've got Maggie Underhill's letting us know there's a St. Thomas Disc Sports Golf Club
Yes.
tournament St. Thomas Disc Sports Club Disc Golf Tournament being held at Pinafore Park
Pinafore Park.
on Sunday.
Right.
Two rounds.
They've
18
set up a
holes.
whole course of 18 in there, right? And
Awesome.
if you've not watched disc golf, I'm fairly good with the Frisbee, but I'm
Yeah.
not a disc golfer. But go watch these people who are really good at disc golf,
Yes.
and you can go to our Pinafore
Mhm.
Park and do it. That
Right.
is,
Yeah,
I mean, we got the best place in the world having
Yes.
Pinafore Park in St. Thomas.
Shout out to Marty and Sandy Hendel, who play disc golf, because they kill it.
Yeah, they're really
They kill it.
killing.
Oh,
They're
wow.
so good, and they're locals from St. Thomas, and they're some of the top disc golfers
Mhm.
in the world. But I think we're getting the light here.
Do we get the name of the?
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're blinking
Yeah.
over there, Greg.
Oh, no. Oh, Talbot Trail Tea Room. Got it. Carol
Ah,
Copley.
Yeah.
very
You're
good,
in.
right.
All right,
yes,
great work.
It
sure
goes
did.
into
Awesome.
our November group, right?
Yep.
So I guess we better say goodbye. We've gone a
Yeah.
little bit over tonight, but what a great show.
So
Yes.
good.
And I
love
hope
it.
the show becomes a 2-hour show.
Yeah, For sure.
But thank you. From Mayor's Update, Tara
Thank
McCaulley,
you.
Thank you.
Rose Gibson,
Thank you.
Tony Bendel and all of the work on the Cindy's extinguisher program, fantastic. Look, I'm looking forward to spend a lot of time with these two. I know I've got
you're gonna have
a couple new friends on council.
Yeah.
So Graydon, thank you for all the hard work you did tonight setting up for Mayor's Update. But we think this year's Mayor's Update is going to be this kind of complicated. We're going to have to figure out what's the best place for it. This looks like a pretty, I like
I
using
like
council.
it.
Pretty
council
good.
chamber.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
Yeah.
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 It's a good setting, very good setting.
Thank you for
Excellent.
having me, guys.
So good night all.
Good night.
If you want to find me in a couple of minutes, I'll be at Caps Off. Well, no, making friends.